Hello, this is Scholar Start doing some math today in geometry. We're going to use parallel lines and transversals. So let's start off by drawing two parallel lines. So remember, parallel lines means they do not intersect. They have this arrowhead here to represent that they are parallel. So line A is parallel to line B. And then we have our transversal. Transversal, it cuts two or more lines, and it creates two intersections, and they have angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's look at the corresponding angles postulate. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, so line A is parallel to line B, they're cut by the red transversal there, then the pairs of corresponding angles forms are congruent. So remember, corresponding angles means same position. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. That means their measurements are the same. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. Okay. Alternate interior angles will also be congruent. So inside, so remember the inside angles are 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alternate interior would mean 3 and 6. So angles 3 is congruent to angle 6. And then angle 4 is congruent to angle 5. Okay, alternate exterior. So outside. So that is 1, 2, 7, 8. Alternate interior. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 8. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. Consecutive interior. So consecutive means same side. So, and then let's look closely at this one. This is where it changes. So instead of being congruent, meaning the same measurement, this time they are supplementary. So angle 3 plus angle 5 equals 180. And then angle 4 plus angle 6 is 180. And then same thing with consecutive exterior. Angle 1 and angle 7 is 180. And then angle 2 plus angle 8 is 180 degrees. Okay. Transitive property of parallel lines. If two lines are parallel to the same line, then they are parallel to each other. So here's A. Here's B. Oh. B. Here's C. Can't seem to draw it right. So here's A, B, and C. So if line A is parallel to line B, and line B is parallel to line C, then line A, then line A is parallel to line C. So if A goes to B and B goes to C, then A can go to C. That's transitive property. Alright, identify which other angles in the diagram also measure 125 degrees. Okay, so we're looking at this angle here is on the inside. So we know that these two lines are parallel. So let me give you it in color. So these two lines are parallel because of that arrowhead that I just drew over. So they have that arrowhead and that arrowhead. So because these lines are parallel, we could say that this 125 degrees is equal to angle 5. So that's because those are alternate interior. Angle 1. So if you look at angle 1 and 125 degrees, remember those are vertical angles. Vertical angles are opposite of the intersection, and they're congruent. And then lastly, angle 7, because those are corresponding angles, same position. Okay, so angle 125 and angle 7 are in the same position of the intersection. All right, checkpoint 1. So measure of angle 7 is 75 degrees. Find the angle measurements of 1, 3, and 5. So angle 3 is 75 degrees because that's corresponding angles. And remember, this only works if the two lines are parallel, which they are. Okay. Angle 1 is also 75 degrees because that's alternate exterior. And then angle 5. Angle 5 is equal to 75 degrees because of vertical angles. Okay. Let's move on to the next page. A taxiway is being constructed that intersects two parallel runways at an airport. If angle 2 is 98 degrees, what is the measure of angle 1? So they tell us that these are parallel. That means measure of angle 1 is 98 degrees because those are alternate interior angles. Okay, so this angle here is congruent to this angle here, so they have the same measurement. So we can set them equal to each other. Now that we set them equal to each other, we can add 4 to both sides to get 117 equals 3x. Divide by 3, and we'll get 39. Let me make sure. Yeah. Oh, they want us to write a reason for each step. So let me break this down. So here's statement 1. So statement, reason. So why were we able to set up that equation? Because those are alternate exterior angles theorem. Because of the alternate exterior angles theorem, though, we can set those equal to each other. And then 2, how did we get to 117 equals 3x? That was through the addition property of equality. We added 4 to both sides. And then 3, we used the division property of equality to get what x is. And then did I check if it was right? 39? Yes, it is. Okay. So that was statement 1, statement 2, and then statement 3. Alright, find the value of x, set up an equation, write a reason for each step. So, statement, reason. Statement 1. Now, normally I said you would start out with your given. Your given would be this angle is this, and this angle is this. But in this case, we can go straight to 3x minus 7 is equal to x plus 5 because, oh wait. Those are not equal. Okay. So they are equal, but we don't have any properties that lead us directly from here to here, because this is outside, this is inside. We don't have anything. We don't have any theorems for outside and inside. So I'm going to label this angle 3, and I'm actually going to start off with saying angle 3 is equal to x plus 5. And the reasoning because that is that vertical angles. Vertical angles. So these are opposite of the intersection. That means they are the same. Okay. Now I'm going to say angle 3 is equal to 3x plus 7. Those are corresponding, because, well, those are not corresponding, sorry. Those are consecutive exterior angles. Consecutive exterior angle. Sorry. Let me back off. So always remember your vocabulary. Remember, consecutive interior angles means outside, same side. So angle 3 and this angle here. They're not the same, but they actually add up to, so angle 3 plus 3x minus 7 is equal to 180 degrees. That's because of the consecutive exterior angles theorem. Okay. Now I'm going to change angle 3 into x plus 5. So x plus 5 plus 3x minus 7 equals 180. That's through substitution. And then 4, I'm going to add my like terms together. So I'll have 4x minus 2 equals 180. And we call that simplification. Or simplify. Okay, next we're going to add 2 to both sides and get 4x equals 182. And that was through the addition property of equality. And then lastly, we divide by 4 to get x equals 45.5 degrees. And that was through division property of equality. Okay. And that, now let's review this one. So we had to write a reason for each step. So I looked at x plus 5 and 3x minus 7. We don't have any theorem that deals with those two, but we do know that this angle here and this angle I decided to call 3 are vertical angles so that they're the same. And then that angle and this angle, so angle 3 and then 3x minus 7, are consecutive exterior angles, so that means they add up to 180. So now I have an equation I can work with and to eventually get down to what x is. Okay. And that is all for today. Have a good one.